Here's a deadly mistake that most men make. They walk into a relationship thinking love is enough. But how can we blame them? They've been fed lies all their lives, such as happy girlfriend, happy life, or love is an equal partnership, or till death do us part, or a relationship is about give and take. Pure lies. Because here's the thing, almost every relationship leads to a single stark outcome, the emotional neutering of the man. Let's get real here. Most women don't respect their boyfriends or husbands, but we can't blame the women either. Every woman will always test her man, nag him, and rebel against his authority. And almost every man will fail the test by being reasonable, understanding, or worse, vulnerable. I've heard so many horror stories from my brother Shoguns that I've somehow grown numb to it. And if you're still here, I'm sure you've lived some version of this hell. You've tried talking things out, being a good listener, putting her ahead of you. You've said sorry for things you didn't even do just to keep the peace. But the more you gave, the more she took, and the less she respected you. Instead of becoming her rock, you're her emotional tampon. And she despises you for this. Again, let me tell you this. It's not your fault. You've been lied to by a world that wants you weak, agreeable, and easy to control. Here's the truth. Women don't want a partnership with their boyfriends or husbands. Instead, they want leadership. They don't need another woman in the relationship. Instead, they want polarity with a man. They crave a man who owns the frame with his masculinity. They desire gravity from you, a rock on which to anchor their emotional turmoil. So, if your relationship isn't working, there's only one reason, and it's this. You're playing by the wrong rules. You're stuck in the obedience vacuum, the black hole that forms when a woman doesn't feel ruled. She tests you, not because she's evil. She tests you because she's starving. She's starving for structure. She's starving for your strength. And she's starving for the one thing she can never ask for, to be led. It's time to face the truth that your girlfriend doesn't want control. She wants to feel safe surrendering herself to a man who dominates her with authority. That's where the Shogun Method girlfriend submission formula fits into the puzzle. Let me ask you this. What does girlfriend submission mean to you? Now, before your brain starts visualizing a leash and a paddle, let's make things clear. This isn't about abuse or physical control. Instead, girlfriend submission is about emotional framing, where the man defines reality and the woman conforms to it. And it starts with an important point, and it's this. When she tests you, it's not to fight you. She's hardwired to find the edges of your leadership, and she does it unconsciously. To pass her test, all you need to do is to keep a dignified silence and keep an unshakable presence. In Shogun Method, I teach what we call the dominance gradient. With this technique, you'll create a slope so steep she has no choice but to slide into submission. You're not forcing her, because after all, there is no gravity in weakness. As a shogun, you'll understand to harness your inner masculine strength to pull her into you. Let me tell you a story. A private Shogun Method client of mine, we'll call him Daniel, came to me on the verge of a breakup. His girlfriend of 7 years had grown cold and increasingly disrespectful. They hadn't had sex in over 4 months. He had tried counseling, date nights, open communication, all the soft options. Of course, nothing worked. Shogun Method was the hard option. To start, I told him to stop talking. I asked him to treat disobedience as if it were invisible, and most importantly, to reclaim the sovereign mantle as the virtuous masculine in the relationship. His girlfriend was startled, but he kept his frame. He continued to punish her emotional volatility with silence and a stoic facade. I taught him that his girlfriend craved attention more than anything else, and it was entirely within his power not to give it to her. 3 weeks in, she cracked. She broke down crying, apologized, and pleaded with him to go back to where they were. But that's not what happened. They didn't go back. Instead, they leveled up. Daniel had created a world his girlfriend could finally feel safe inside. And from that moment on, her insolence had collapsed entirely. What happened next was even more amazing. She began asking for house rules from Daniel, things to do and not to do. She began craving his command and authority over her. And the crazy part is that she believed it was all her idea. Because when done right, girlfriend submission training doesn't feel like control. Instead, it's freedom. the freedom a woman gets to express her femininity under the power and protection of the virtuous masculine of a shogun. So, how do you get your woman on board the girlfriend submission training program? Easy. Start by removing all attempts at explaining yourself. Remember, explanations are for the weak. Stop validating her, ignoring her completely. Observe her rebellion not as disrespect, but as hunger. The hunger to test for your edge, as the masculine in the relationship, the authority over the feminine in her. The change in your demeanor will shock her. She'll keep testing you, trying to find the chink in your armor. Never give in. Instead, create the dominance gradient and pull her to you. Stop announcing your rules and just live them. Reward obedience with presence. Punish rebellion with emotional detachment. Say less. Mean more. As any shogun will tell you, treat her like a woman who needs to be led, and she will show up as one. She will submit not because she's weak, but because you've made your strength safe enough for her to thrive under you. Okay, by now you've seen the power of Shogun Method and how to make your girlfriend submit to you, heart, body, and soul. But you've only seen the surface. If you want the full submission blueprint, the one where her obedience isn't begged for, but freely given, then there's something else you need to do. In the Shogun Method online masterclass at fractionation.org, I'll show you what most men will die without ever knowing. That submission isn't trained through words. You'll learn how to trigger submission and obedience through psychological priming, embedded commands, and a grand mind control technique we call fractionation. In the masterclass, you'll learn how to bend her reality so completely that her submission feels like her idea. And once you cross that line, there's no going back. She'll never want that fake freedom again, believe me. As the final point, understand this. She might tell you she wants a partner. The truth is that she's just waiting for a king. So, be her king. Take the next step and join the Shogun Method online masterclass at fractionation.org.